fractions, we're basically going to be going through like all the examples and worksheets that I'm giving you and just do like practice questions in those worksheets. So the first one is the slides where you're going to answer like what is the equivalent of fraction. So in this one we have 3/4 colored here and we have something out of 8 colored here. So we just have to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically 6/8 have been colored in, and that's what's equivalent to 3/4. And we're going to come back to this and try to find a pattern, but now let's go into this worksheet. And this is the second worksheet. So if we're looking at it, this much of the pie is equal to something here. It's a lot, it looks like a lot, so let's start by trying to write how much is already colored in. We have 1 piece out of 3 pieces already colored in, and we're trying to find what is that equal to out of 9, right? Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now, what is that out of 9? Let's try to shade it in. So you're probably going to print this out, try to shade in a similar amount. But if these circles were to be on top of each other, they would basically look something like this. If you're having trouble like coming up with that, we have this little FetLab simulator that we can work with. So 1/3 is equal to how many out of 9? So we just have to increase it. So 3 9ths. And does that make sense? If we were to put this little piece on top of this, it's pretty much the same amount. Let's do a second question now. Something out of 12 is equal to 3 out of 12 is equal to something out of 4. Now, if we look at this circle, we can just try like separate it into fourths ourselves, and if we're like gonna ignore the black lines, then how many fourths have we colored in already? We've colored in 1/4. So that's definitely a way you could do it. And let's try one more. So 2/3 have been colored in this circle. We're trying to find something out of 12. If you count all the pieces, and the bigger number goes in the denominator usually. So we just do it like that. What out of 2/3 would equal like something out of 12? So we can up it to 2/3, and with our simulator we can't go to 12. So let's just stick with it here. Let's separate our little thing into 12 approximately. Take us like there. 1, 2, 3, 4, like there. So those are the 12ths, and let's color in something equivalent to what we got there. So like that. And if we were to stack our 2 circles on top of each other, they would most definitely equal to 2/3. So how many pieces have we colored in? 8. And I don't know if you've noticed a pattern here, but there's definitely a pattern. How would we get from 3 to 9? We multiply by 3. So how do we get from 1 to 3? We also multiply by 3. So to get an equivalent fraction, you have to do whatever you do to the top to the bottom as well. So in this one, to get from 12 to 4, we were basically dividing by 3, right? Divide by 3, so that's what we did to the top. And then you gotta divide by the same number as well. Can you figure out the one for the third question? You can pause it. And you should have came up with multiplying by 4 at the top and the bottom. And that's basically this worksheet. So the next one is really going to focus on doing it like that. We're gonna do the first few here. 24 divided by 33. So you gotta do something to the top and the bottom. You can take a couple of guesses. So is it divisible by 2? The top is, but the bottom is. How about 3? Yeah. So divided by 3 is 8. And this is gonna be a bit of a challenge because I don't think we've learned this too much. Divided by 3 is 11. 8 11ths. Divided by 3 to get there, and does this even get smaller? Let's see, can we divide 8 and 11 by anything? No. So for this one, number 21, it's not divisible by 1. I mean it is, but not going to simplify anything. 2, no. 3, it is. So we're just going to divide by 3 to get to 3, and then 27 divided by 3 is 9. And I don't know if you noticed, but here we said 9 divided by 3 is 3, and we know that 3 divided by 3 is 1. That means we can do this again if we divide it by 3. So divide by 3, and end up getting 1 over 3. We can also draw a circle and try to figure it out, but this is the way to do it. So we divided by 3 twice. What does that mean? We divided by 3 divided by 3. So I'm going to divide it by 9. So to get to this equivalent fraction, you divide it by 9. But the middle one of 3/9 that I'm going to highlight in this slightly lighter color is still an equivalent fraction. It's just not, is this question asking in the lowest terms. So because we haven't learned this too much, if you just want to divide it, like, even if it's not in the lowest term, it's still going to be okay for this practice. Let's try number 2. Let's divide it by 2, I'm thinking. So we're going to end up with 2. Divided 20 by 2 is 10. And we can say we're done here, even though it's not in the lowest terms for this assignment, and it's okay. We can keep going and divide it by 2 again to 1, and then 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 1/5. And that's basically simplifying fractions.